Well, I don't have time to reboot the computer, so you get this bad-looking camera version of me. Looks like I'm half asleep, because I am. I'm Ron Juckett, and it's time for the DoDCast postgame show for this 27th day of September. Open the eyes. And following the Nats 7-5 disappointing loss to the Philadelphia Phillies, disappointing in the sense that they had their chances. They were up. They were down 3-1 or 3-0 early, and they came back to actually lead the game 5-3 before eventually Tanner Roark did not have a good night. He ended up losing the game. I'll get to the totals in a second. And just overall, just not a great effort, especially from Pedro Severino, who needed it. So let's get to the totals. And I'm really not sure why the good camera is. Don't do that. Don't show me video. I want a box score. Not even MLB Game Center is really caring at this point. The final score was 7-5. I can tell you that Tanner Roark took the loss. Not sure who took the win, though. See if I can back out. Oh, that's because MLB Game Center thinks that the Phillies are going to. Oh, here we go. They thought that the Phillies were going to bat with a 2-run lead in the bottom of the ninth. How cute is that? All right. So Rios gets the win. He goes to 1-0. The Phillies go to 64-95. 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Tanner Roark will take the loss. Washington falls to 95-63. 5 runs, 11 hits, and an error. And Hector Neris gets his 26th save. Trey Turner, by the way, did reach all 5 times at the plate tonight. 3 singles, several thousand stolen bases, a walk and a hit batsman. Bryce Harper, 1 for 4 tonight. He did score. He singled to a blue point in the left. Ryan Zimmerman struck out 3 times in 5 at-bats. Stranded 7. Also, foul one off his foot. Jason Worth had 2 RBI tonight, too, for the Nats. And Michael A. Taylor with the solo homer goes 3 for 5. So the Nats were 3 for 12 tonight with runners in scoring position. They left 11 on. Turner stole 2 bases, by the way, and got caught stealing once. Taylor with a steal, his 17th. So the 3 extra base hits tonight. Murphy with his 43rd double, Worth with his 9th double, and Taylor with his 18th home run. Rendon is now 97 RBIs on the year. Tanner Roark, as I said, wasn't very sharp. 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs all earned. He walked 5 and struck out 3. In 104 pitches, 56 strikes. Solis goes an inning in the 3rd. He walked 2 and struck out 2. Brandon Kinsler struck out 1 in his inning. And Eddie Romero, I believe, pitched in back-to-back days. An inning, 2 hits, a run. It was not earned on the Severino error in the 9th. And he did have a strikeout. So Solis, 23 pitches for 9 strikes. Not that great. Kinsler, 12 pitches for 8 strikes. Romero, 26 for 16. And that's it. That's the last playoff, or that's the last road game of the year. It's 4 against the Pirates coming up starting tomorrow, which is why I have to get up at 5 to write the preview for that. Seth says, when is the playoff preview show? Ricky is going to talk with someone from Cubby's Crib, and we're hoping to do that, I believe, Monday. And then we will be around, I believe it's going to be Thursday night, the 3 of us, to talk for probably about an hour. Ricky, Drew, and myself to talk about the playoffs. So I believe that's when we're doing that. So Monday, I think early in the week, Ricky will do Cubby's Crib. And then Thursday night, we will do a roundtable with the 3 of us for a preview show. So the best we can do is 98, because don't say that, Seth. You're wrong. You don't know what Ajax is going to do tomorrow. He could win tomorrow. Don't be negative. Don't be negative. Is it finally raining here? It's been hotter in Blue Blazes all day. You know, in Burlington, Vermont, we've had 7 days this summer, or this spring, fall. 7 days this year that it's top 90 degrees, and none of them were actually over the course of the summer. We've had 4 days in a row in the fall, and we had 3 days this spring. So 7-5 the final tonight. There were some good things. Trey Turner just ran all over the place. He now has 44 stolen bases. As I said, he went 3 for 3, 3 singles. Was hit by a pitch, thankfully on the elbow and not the wrist, and drew a walk. That's what you wanted to see. Bryce Harper does look good at the plate, but not getting hi Judo, not playing a full game. Pedro Severino, in my view, has played himself off the playoff roster. He dropped what would have been an out at the plate on a nice throw by Daniel Murphy, which would have kept the score 6-5, and just hasn't done anything at the plate. I really do think that Jose Lobaton will be the backup catcher. Sorry to hear you're not feeling well, Seth. So I think Lobaton will be the backup catcher. And Ryan Zimmerman. Now he fouled one off his foot, so it means he probably won't play tomorrow or Friday. But he did strike out 3 times tonight. Did not look good at the plate. Swung at bad pitches and stranded 7 runners. That's not what you want heading into the playoffs. But it is what it is. And Judo says Trey Turner is putting up Bryce Harper versus the Cubs stats. You want Turner to be peaking right now. That's actually a very good sign for him. Just because his timing was slow coming in the last couple of weeks, and now he seems to be back to being Trey Turner. Just a threat to steal a base every time up, which kind of goes with the argument that you really don't want Bryce Harper batting second in playoff games because you're opening up the door for Joe Maddon. And by the way, congratulations to the Chicago Cubs for winning the National League Central. You don't want to leave first base open for Maddon to walk Harper. It's just too essential to do. Maybe you put Rendon there. My guess is that'll be Worth, but maybe you put Rendon there. Seth, I'm sorry, dude. Seth broke his arm and sprained some ribs. Don't crash your bike again. Big night, yeah, for Michael A. Taylor, too. It's hard to believe, guys, that he has 18 home runs this year, isn't it? It just seems to come so natural for him when it does. That short, sweepy swing that he has, swings it like a broom and does very well. So, all in all, some good things, some bad things, and now 4 against the Pirates at home at least to close the season before 4 off days, and now game 1 with the Cubs on Friday. Don't ask on the time; TV schedules aren't out yet. So, but we can tell you that games 1 and 2 will be in Washington on Friday and Saturday. Sunday is an off day. Monday and Tuesday would be games 3 and 4, the 9th and the 10th at Wrigley Field in Chicago. And if it does go to the dreaded game 5, it will be on the 12th, on that Thursday in Washington. No times have been announced. I think someone said during the game that they didn't come out until that Monday night last year. And knowing that because the Rockies are probably going to clinch the wild card tonight in the National League, that you have an East Coast series and really only one potential West Coast series in the entire playoffs because the Twins are should clinch, if not tonight, sometime the next couple of days in the American League. So Houston obviously won the American League West, so no team in the American League will be playing outside the Central Time Zone. So you know that the Dodgers and whoever wins the wild card game is going to be probably getting those later slots, especially when there's the quadruple headers. There's going to be a quadruple header Friday, and there'll be a quadruple header. No, just the one quadruple header, right? Maybe that Tuesday. Right. I don't know. It's late and I'm tired. All right, so that's what's going on around for that. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. In the meaningful game department, as we said, this is great news for the Colorado Rockies. The Reds lead the Brewers 6-0 in the top of the ninth with 2 out. I believe that would put Colorado in the playoffs because they beat Miami today 15-9. Arizona has already wrapped up home field for the wild card game. They beat the Giants 4-3 and another walk-off hit. How about J.D. Martinez? What a year he's had. Pittsburgh, who we'll see for 4 starting tomorrow, beat Baltimore 5-3. The Yankees have slim hopes of catching the Red Sox in the American League East. They beat Tampa tonight 6-1. Chicago beat the Cardinals 5-1. They clinched on their home field. How bad is that? Mets beat the Braves. Last home game for the year for the Mets at Citi Field. Wonder if that will be it for Terry Collins with the Mets. 7-1 was the final. Cleveland withheld Minnesota's wild card celebration. They won 4-2. And the Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 10-7. Games in progress of note. Really the only game that matters is the Reds and the Brewers. The Dodgers lead San Diego 6-0 in the bottom of the third. So if everything wraps up tonight, then there will not be a meaningful game the entire weekend of the National League. Oh, yeah, the Angels and the White Sox. If the White Sox win, it's 4-4 at the top of the eighth with 2 out in Chicago at guaranteed rate field or whatever the world are calling themselves, then everything will be decided except for the Red Sox and the Yankees, where they'll finish. They're both in the playoffs, but we're not sure. The Red Sox magic number is 2 because the Twins would actually clinch the wild card. So we could actually have 4 games in Major League Baseball or 4 days of meaningless baseball. Isn't that exciting? Lot. But congrats to the Cubs for doing that. Seth says the Cubs are the first reigning World Series champion to make the playoffs since the Cardinals in 2012. The Nats fans know what happened that year. Cubs are the first team to clinch the division, though, since 2009. I believe it must have been the Phillies. Yeah, the Phillies were the last National League team to win the division after winning the World Series. Ricky says can't clinch tonight, but it would be tough for Milwaukee to come back. Best they can do is 2 back with 3 to play. Yeah, that's okay. So let me get back up in the camera here. So again, that's, you're now in a position where you're just trying to keep people healthy. It kind of bothers me a little bit that Dusty's trying to get people so many milestones. But, to Tanner Rohr threw 109 pitches tonight and just wasn't sharp. Said he was as effective as, as sharp as toddler scissors at one point. So, but I think you'll see more of the same over the weekend. I don't think you'll see Ryan Zimmerman tomorrow, whether they were planning to play him or not. He fouled one off his foot and just looked bad at the plate. Daniel Murphy, though, did play some good defense. Edwin Jackson goes tomorrow. And I believe we see Strasburg and Scherzer on Friday and Saturday with Gio on Sunday, but I can't imagine that anyone is going to go a full start. Gio does need 3 innings for 200 innings, and I believe Strasburg needs 5 or 6 strikeouts for 200 on the year. That will be all in my piece in the morning, which will be 3 storylines for the Pirates series. Coming up 7, and 3 o'clock. We will not be live tweeting the series. We'll be around. We will have DoDCast after all 4 of these games. I'll be with you tomorrow and Sunday, and Ricky Keeler will wrap up his regular season slate Friday and Saturday. But no real live tweeting. We'll watch. We'll pop in and out. But as far as what we do during the games all year, those will return for the playoffs. And as I said earlier, we're expecting to do 2 DoDcasts next week. I don't know if Ricky's worked out the details with Cubby's Crib, but I'm thinking that's going to be Monday. And we'll all be with you Thursday night during the American League playoffs for our preview of both National League Divisional Series. Seth has a cast that it's red, so he's gonna get some Nats tape to wrap on it. So that's cool. Well, hope you feel better, Seth. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. Any of you guys have anything else to add? So the Nats could still, if they swept the Pirates, could still have the best record in complete franchise history with 99 and 198 in 2012. And if you missed me last night, if you go to Sully Baseball, I actually taped an episode of that show with him, which wasn't bad at all. All right, so anything else? You can follow us at District on Deck on Twitter. Give this video a like and subscribe here on YouTube. Ricky says Tanner might not throw for another week at least, so don't mind him getting 109. Can't see Strauss, Gio, or Scherzer throwing more than 5 this weekend. I can't either. Big start for Ejax tomorrow. He really is pitching for his playoff roster life. He's got to go out and show them something. Drew did a piece today on whether or not they need a long man, and Ricky's talking about it before too. If they do use it, is it going to be Cole, Matt Grace, who we haven't really seen? Good night, Seth. You too, bud. And or Edwin Jackson. So I will have storylines up for 8 o'clock. We'll have 3. And then Ricky is going to write a piece. If you're going to be the best, you got to beat the best. And, of course, that right now is the defending champions, Chicago Cubs. Yeah, Scherzer's 2.2 innings away from 200. So it'll be milestones. Andrew Cutchin I'm going to talk about a little bit tomorrow because this could be his last ever games for the Pirates, which would be kind of sad if you ask me. The Pirates have an option, but my guess is he gets moved this winter. And so that was what we'll talk about tomorrow. And so there will be DoDCast after each game. So I will be with you, hopefully with the correct camera working and not the crappy one that comes with the laptop. And Ricky will be with you on Friday and Saturday. And then we'll probably be all with you as much as we can during the playoffs itself. So for Ricky Keeler and Drew Douglas and the rest of the staff at District on Deck, I'm Ron Juckett. You have yourselves a good night, and even though we won't be tweeting tomorrow, I'll still talk to you tomorrow night after the game. Till then, good night.